Welcome to our first ever podcast.
I'm excited. Honestly, I think it's weird.
I think it is weird. We have to get used to this, but this is one of the most exciting
It's
days
not
of
the
our life.
talking that's weird. It's the fact that we're just sitting here and, I know that people are watching this right now.
But it's just me and you.
Yeah.
So we have to, make it feel more community, because that's what it wants to be. But this
Because that's what it wants to be.
Yeah, wants to be. This is the Indulge In Yourself podcast. Big things coming. And we don't want to give too much away in the first episode. But I think we should introduce ourselves. We should introduce a little bit, give you a sneak peek about what you can expect here. Then we're going to jump into our first topic, which is quite a big one to cover. But I do want to mention it's kind of a full circle moment here, us sitting here, and I think we should appreciate that starting off because my dad and I were actually, you know this, my dad and I were actually going to start a podcast about his cancer journey, and he got most of our equipment for us, and then he
You got these
unfortunately...
microphones?
No.
Oh.
That's the only piece we got.
Oh.
Just, yeah. But yeah, he got the lights and other microphones that didn't end up working. But the point is, when he passed away, I kind of forgot about that, put that in the back of my head. And then I think you were the one that came up, you just mentioned this podcast idea to me.
Well, we had other business endeavors.
Yeah. Coming
to start
soon.
out. Coming soon. But it came across us, and then I brought it up to you. And we were probably talking about the podcast for 10 minutes before you were like...
Before I realized.
Oh my God, my dad and me were going to start a podcast.
And then I was like, it's almost too divine. He got all the equipment, and we unfortunately, being led divinely. We unfortunately never got to do our podcast.
Right.
Rest in peace, Dad. But I say that casually. It's not
Rest
casual
in peace,
at
Mr.
all.
Mike.
Yes. We'll touch on that throughout the podcast. But yeah, and then you mentioned the podcast, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's almost as if some higher realm knew. It's almost like we're being gifted by my dad to do exactly this. And I know
kind of feel like he's here right now.
I know he's here right now.
Sitting right there.
He's sitting right on that little poof.
We don't have
But
poof.
yeah, I know he's watching us. I know he's happy, and I just feel like it's a full circle moment.
Tons of support.
Tons of support. So I think I'm going to kick it off to you to introduce yourself. Give us a quick... I don't want to give them too much because I feel like they'll learn about us throughout the podcast. Surprises are always
But if
good.
they don't know us, I mean, some of you that are probably watching this, maybe you do know us. But if some people are
tuning in... Do you really know us?
Oh, no.
There's a lot to us.
You might, but no, you don't.
Do we know ourselves?
Maybe.
Okay. So yeah, maybe we could say our names, and then you can just give whatever you want to give. What's your elevator pitch? Give me your
My
30-second.
pitch.
I'm Alyssa. Why you should listen.
It's I feel like as I'm saying this, should be some elevator music talking or playing in the background. So yeah, almost as if you're meeting somebody on an elevator for 30 seconds. What do you say to them before they get off?
That's the idea that makes them remember you and say, I'm gonna watch your podcast.
Yeah, I would literally just be like, hi, my name is Alyssa, and I, dropped out of college for business to go to esthetician school to start a business, and
and you're successful.
I have made a 6-figure business out of my business. Is that money? Is that how I said? Is that money?
Yeah.
Is that money?
That's good. And we're not going to tell you if that is true.
I mean, right, I may have made 6 figures. I may have not have. I may have only made 2, but all I'm saying is...
The point is that was a good elevator.
Is that, I'm an esthetician, and I opened my own salon when I was 20.
And it was not easy.
No. I got very sick for a very long time, and I kind of dug a little bit deeper into the more spiritual side of things.
And you've had quite good experiences.
And I feel like I kind of have brought you along.
Yeah, so I'm Jocelynn.
The spiritual journey.
I still go to college, so I did not drop out. Yeah.
Okay, mind you, I didn't drop out. I didn't even
she didn't
start.
even attend.
I didn't even attend. I literally was business school,
But the dropout thing sounds, I think, really cool.
Yeah, it just makes me sound like I was badass. And I was like, I'm not going here.
Yeah. I just dropped out. Anyways, so I'm just filling that void. We come together and make one. But I'm Jocelynn, and we worked together when we were 16, and I think we were friends.
Twice.
But we
worked at 2 Italian places.
Yeah.
For some
Italian.
reason. Yeah, Italian
I don't know
food
why
is great.
It's the microphones that made me sing.
I know. I told you it's gonna bring out a whole other side of me.
If we just start singing,
it's my whole Alicia Keys in here.
Yeah. Or Shakira.
Shakira.
Oh baby, when you talk like that.
Make a woman go mad.
Oh.
Isn't that how it goes?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's not what we're doing right now.
Not like we don't want Shakira to come here or anything.
No, but if Shakira wants to come,
I will scoot over gladly.
Yeah. There's extra space on this couch.
There's not too much room, but enough.
But we kind of stopped talking. I went to school at a different school before I went to the school I go to now, long distance. I say it like we're in a fucking relationship.
I know. I mean, I feel like I am now.
But yeah, we are. But
I feel like we did text a few times.
Like a few times. Anyways,
Yeah.
the point is, COVID hit. I wanted my lashes done. We were all feeling down in the dumps, and I was like, what's going to make me feel better about myself? So I got my lashes done, and literally it's like it was meant to be. First time we started talking about spirituality, and I'm not going to lie, that's what got me through a lot of the stuff with my dad's passing. Don't think I'd be here today if it weren't for that, and I think
it almost makes me feel like you're saying you don't think you would be here today if it weren't for me. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
no, but that's how I took it. That's how I took it the other day when you said it, and I was like, actually, yeah. No, I mean, it did honestly open me up, I feel like, to a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
That
I think we both have a good relationship in the fact, like, we have these conversations. I guess that's why we're here on this podcast. Like, we have these conversations that will just last hours about the world and how to take care of yourself and I think we've both worked ourselves out of very bad places. I'm not saying we don't still struggle, we do. But it's conversations that if someone else was sitting in the room with us,
I do feel like it would help a little bit.
Oh my God, yeah. And also, we're on this journey. We don't have it figured out whatsoever. So it's really cool to open up this community of people that
don't really know what they're doing,
but want to know, and people that are open. Like, we envision the person, listen to this in your morning routine on Monday. We'll be here every Monday. Listen to this on your way to work. You know, it'll make you think a little bit. It will open your perspective up, and, you know, it will start your week off strong, and we can all just strive for this life that fulfills us, you know?
I feel like just in the day-to-day things, and ever since we were, I feel like, kids, it's just like a thing to, you know, go to school or work or whatever it is, and, you know, you get off and you relax a little bit, but, like, you really aren't, I don't feel like people are really taking in life the way that it should be taken in, and it's kind of really sad because I feel like, especially our generation, I feel like it's a very sad generation.
Toxic. We're all trying to show we're happy.
But we also all explain that we're really not, so it's kind of confusing.
It's really confusing. I was talking about
this
with
my friends. We use, like, social media and, like, memes to, like, communicate our feelings with our others, like, our friends and our spouses and things like that, instead of just, like, sitting down and be like, look, like,
I feel this way.
Right, but it would get over so much quicker if you just told the person how you were feeling, and then, like...
And, I think we're creating a generation that doesn't even know how to communicate. But I was having this conversation literally the other day. It's funny it came up, but we're talking about social media and how everyone posts their, like, best self, right? And that's, everyone's admitted that is toxic, because if I think that that's your life, you know, of course you're also have bad stuff. But then it's like, okay, people make it seem like, well, then you should be posting your true life, your raw life. My contrast to that, whatever you want to say about it, is like, why am I going to post when I'm crying? Why am I going to post when I don't want to be this way? Why am I going to post that? So it's either like, we all have to, like, be like, okay, everyone on social media is posting what they want to post, what they want to live, and that's okay. We need to recognize that and know that that's happening. But I think the issue comes in is that we all post what we want to live, but when we're looking at other people's social medias, we believe that's their real life. And that's how it gets toxic. So we need to all realize...
But that's also, like, I feel like a part of our fault because you believe it. You know what I mean? It's almost like, I don't know, like, doing something that, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people that have a lot of bad habits, right? Mm-hmm. You know it's bad, but you just continue to keep feeding it to yourself and, like, letting yourself be miserable. Like, honestly, after starting a business, I think that also, like, it's a lot. You know, you have a lot of people that are in competition.
It's going to come up a lot.
In a way, and I feel like life is, like, almost like a competition. But I think if people stop seeming like, you know, it's a competition, you would realize, like, to take in more of life for yourself.
Right there. That is what we're talking, like, our whole Indulge brand is the beauty from within. You can't, like, the beauty of life comes from within you. The beauty of yourself comes within you. In every facet. That is what we're about. And you need to pause right there, because that starts with...
I'm definitely going to forget where I'm going.
I'm going to let you know where you were. So you paused.
That's what you're good for.
Yeah, I got you. When we say the meaning of life, what is the meaning of life? Wow, we're not philosophers here, but we're
definitely not experts.
No, we're not experts. But when you say you need to, we're not even taking in what's right in front of us. I mean, like, touch on, like, that. When you said that to me, I think you said it like this. Like, you were telling me the other day, and you were like, look at us, like, right now, we're sitting here talking, and you're speaking to me, and I'm speaking to you, and we understand each other, and we're able to speak, and I'm able to stand up, or I'm able to drive a car.
Yeah, but to them, like, even hearing that right now, you might be a little confused, but what I'm saying, like, I'm sitting right here, you're watching me through the camera right now, and you can understand the things that I'm saying. Like, we are all just conscious people, right? These are just our shell. Like, our body is basically, like, our vehicle, and I feel...
We're more than just a human body. you know?
Oh, 100%. Because I'm Alyssa Perno, but, like, what I'm showing and saying and, like, how my voice sounds.
Your inner...
Like, that's not me. But, like, what's going on and controlling everything is. And, like, I don't really know how you tie all this stuff into each other over, I feel like, a course of episodes. It might make sense. But, like, I feel like people really need to, like, wake up.
Yeah.
And, like,
when you hear us... Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine. You do it all the time.
We do that a lot.
I know.
We can't do that on the podcast.
I know.
Okay. But when you listen to our podcast, like, I think really listen to each word we say, because it's one of those conversations where you can listen to it and can blow over your head. But if you listen to each and every word and really take it in and process it, I mean, seriously, it can change your life. These conversations can change your life, no doubt.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I feel like when I was, like, I always say, like, a really sick version of myself, because I just was.
True.
I had to turn to reading, meditating. I did go to in-person therapy. I don't really care what people say about that. It's definitely good to, like, talk to somebody. But outside of the therapy, like, I needed to do things on my own time to keep my brain busy. But as I was keeping my brain busy, I feel like I realized that, like, just, like, reading, meditating, and kind of...
being present. Being there now.
Kind of just, like, learning a new version of yourself at the worst time.
Yeah.
Like, of yourself. Does that make sense? Like, the worst point of yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, just, I don't know. It just, I really was awake for a second.
The most awoken, I was talking about this too the other day with Julia. I was like, the most, like, people who really get spiritual or really wake up or really, you know, see this meaning of life and take the time to go.
But I feel like it takes a dark place to get to that point. But, like, you just shouldn't have to.
No, they always have the hardest, like, most hardships. You see the people with the hardest times become the people that truly love life the most. I'm not saying everybody, but you get what I'm saying, if you understand what I'm saying. Because they really dive deeper and they see what life is. And I think if you could have this conversation before life has to be hard, and you could really, like, you can take on that back, but sometimes it takes a hardship to get there. So I don't know. Can you?
I mean, I feel like I feel like it just depends on the person. Yeah. But, like, I just think that, I don't know. I really do believe that there's a whole higher purpose to everything that's going on here, and we're so just, like, keeping our eyes here and not, like, looking beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're already, you know, in our 20s. Like, before we're in our 30s, 40s, whatever. But life goes by really quick, and, like, I think there's a new, my dollar bill example.
The $100 bill.
I mean, technically, yeah. Like, we all have, let's say, $100 maybe. I feel like when you're born, you know, life or the universe or whatever is like, here, you know, here's $100. Spend it how you want, but, like, spend it wisely.
And every year is $1.
And, you know, I'm 22, and I've already spent $22 of my life, and I'm just thinking about all the dollars that I spent on things I definitely could have, you know, spent money better on.
And then also the other side of it is you're like, I'm 22.
Yeah.
Like, where the heck?
Like, I wish I could get, like, 5 of my dollars back. Yeah. But I can't. So, from the experiences, that I have had through life, I definitely think that it goes by really quick. And honestly, like, you have to just, like, find something to literally, like, indulge yourself into to, like, keep yourself awake. You literally, and you fall right back into it. I mean, even after we turn this camera off and we turn the podcast off and we both get in our cars and leave, we kind of fall back into, like, that little routine, like, oh, I gotta get here, and then I have work tomorrow, and then I have this, and then I have that. And it's so sad because, like, I want to just, like, enjoy, like, driving my car home without thinking about these things. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I had the really great I don't know how to do yoga. I don't know how to meditate. I'm trying to do that. I know it's good for me, but I, like, did it with a friend. I think I'm going to have to teach you. Yeah. It's
really not what you think.
Yeah. It's really about, like, letting your mind rest, and which it's really not going to rest, right? But I think it's
like people, I mean, throughout my clients and people that come in, I've actually had a few clients that have been in, I feel like, pretty bad places. So I would tell them, like, look, I know it's weird, but, like, I had this app.
Oh, you told me about that.
Yeah, I had the app.
Meditation app.
Yeah, I'm not going to say the app because they didn't sponsor me, so I'm just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding.
But, right. I don't know. I just feel like the app was basically just a lot of meditations, like, there's, like, hypnosises, like, all these crazy things. And I'm like, I cannot do this. But what I did was I put my headphones in, and I just lay down and I closed my eyes. I got myself very comfortable, put my headphones in, and I just picked a meditation that I felt like was right for me, and then I just started
doing it.
You don't realize you're doing it, though. Your eyes just close, and you realize it's almost like, you know how people they call it, what do they call it? that's kind of sleep that you fall into. It's like a deep sleep. It starts with the L.
I don't know what you're talking
Lucid
about.
dreaming.
Lucid dreaming.
It's almost like you're lucid dreaming, like you know that you're sleeping, but you're not quite asleep yet. So you're listening to everything, and then when you kind of wake up, you get to like kind of take everything that you just heard while you were in your most like zen
stage.
Yeah. It's like that moment when you kind of like catch yourself twitching.
Yeah.
But like you don't twitch.
I'm always falling off a cliff, like in my dreams when I twitch.
That's not healthy.
Okay. No. But yeah, I meditated, and the interesting thing is Saturday, I woke up, and normally the first thing I do is like get coffee and open my laptop and start working on a Saturday. I'm that type of person. But like that's not always healthy, and there needs to be balance. And I was just driving to get my coffee. First, I had this realization. I was like, I'm going to enjoy my coffee. Like I get my coffee to open up that laptop. I was like, I'm just going to effing drink my coffee today.
Right.
So I just drank my coffee and enjoyed it. And I was like, that was just a good, decent splurge on coffee. But also, like, I'm driving, and I was just sitting there, like, look at that tree. Look at those flowers. Like, I was just genuinely,
right.
1, enjoying the drive, 2, enjoying the music on my drive, and 3, enjoying the nature I saw while I was driving. And I was like, when is the last time I've done this? Like, this is all right at my fingertips, and we take so much for granted. The stuff, think about the stuff you fight with your loved ones about or whatever. It's just like, then you take a step back, and you're like, do I really care?
I do feel like everything is at, like, the verge of our, like, fingertips, but it's weird because we look at all these, like, famous people and people that do stuff, like, podcasts and whatever it is, and you're almost just kind of like, I want to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? I want to be that person. But you don't. You don't put yourself in the places and surround yourself around the people that, like, I don't know, would bring you to...
No, we stay in bad patterns for some reason. And I think when you say, what is the meaning of life, can we give you a one-word answer? We don't know. No, we can't. Can anyone give you that?
Like, this conversation could go so deep, which it will over a course of episodes. Yeah. But, like, I feel like you have to give yourself your own kind of version of your meaning of life, because depending on where you came from or how you grew up or, whatever, all has a role in your adult life.
And, like, we were talking about, if you go into a nursing home with people that are about to pass away, like, how many of those people sit there and are going to say...
I lived a great life.
You always, I mean, not that people, but, like, 9 times out of 10, like, from my personal experiences with people, it's always, like, they give you really wise advice. Some of the best advice you can ever get is from people on their deathbeds, because they just see 100%. Life from that. They're now in that different perspective, which we should live every day like. But also, a lot of times they're like, I wish I would have did this with my loved ones more. I wish I would have just, spent time with my loved ones more. I wish I would have just taken it, like, whatever it is. I'm just, spitballing, but they always have this, like, I wish I did this. Or, like, there's always those dreams or aspirations they wish they did. And even people that live, like, great lives. But it's like, how many people sit there and say, I'm actually ready to go. I lived each and every day. Like, any day I'm taken off this earth, I know that I lived those days each and every day. They say, like, it's your last, and that's so cliche, but, like, seriously.
I mean, like, I feel like you have to get out of, I mean, I don't know when I really started. I always was, like, a deep person.
Me too.
Child, teenager, whatever. Intuitive. But, like, I really think when I turned, like, 19.
Me too.
Yeah, I really feel like when I turned, like, 19, that's when I really started realizing, like, life is, like, hitting me. I mean, I also did have, like, a whole opening, like, wide awakening.
We'll talk about
like, that whole, like,
we've
my grandfather and things like that, but, and psychics and mediums and things like that.
Yeah.
Coming into our lives. I know.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. I'm not I don't know everything, but I feel like I do understand. I might not know everything, but I do understand what I think.
And I think we're both very open to, like, we love hearing other people's experiences, and like we take like you have to be open.
I feel like when my clients come in here and they lay down on the bed, they're almost just like they just let it go on me, right? It's like anybody I feel like I do come around, they're so comfortable to talk that they just go,
Yeah.
You don't realize how much people bottle up until you're that person that
can let it out.
Right, but these people like me, you also deal with, like, letting people kind of drain your energy. So, like, a lot of people kind of using you. And I feel like that goes for a lot of people, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you can't talk to everybody about everything. And especially when you start, like, this podcast, I'd love to welcome everybody with open arms. And I think, if you want to be here, be here. But there's going to be certain people that listen to this, and they're just like, okay, cool, like, whatever, never listen again. Then there's going to be the people,
Click.
like, you either get it or you don't. And until you're at a point where you're in that, like, awakening and you want this certain life, right? It's like you that's the people that are going to listen. And then it's almost like you bottle all this stuff up because you can't just talk about this stuff to anybody, because if you just start talking about it, some people are going to be like, you're psycho and crazy, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, because if people don't see past their foreheads.
That's because I feel like they're still closed. They're still very, like, they have a lot of shit going on. Yeah. They're kind of mad at the world a little bit. I feel like if you can't, I'm not saying that, like, everybody has to listen to us do this. I don't really care whether people, do or not. I do, because I really want you guys here. But, like, this is something that I get to look back on when I'm older. And I'm, like, just being able to hear my younger self already say the things that, like, I would probably want to make sure that I did and said and, had a mindset of when I'm old, so that I'm like, okay, at least I know that when I was younger, I really took in as much as I could. I really, like, I don't know, I feel like it's a control thing. Bad things keep happening. You just have to keep, like, redirecting your mind onto things that are better.
Like, manifestation, that's real. Like,
oh, 100%.
When we talk about that, I feel like a realization I've came to when it comes to the meaning of life, which is different for everyone, is like, I'm not going to say nobody, but I'm assuming from people I've talked to, nobody, like, just says, okay, in this world, I just want to do the same thing as everybody else and then die and then I'm good, right? Like, we all are drawn to something. We all have dreams, aspirations, goals, and whatever, and we all kind of collectively agree on things we want, and everyone kind of wants this more from life, but do we get it? And it's like, I was thinking about it, and it's like, from the time I was a kid, I'm sure depending on where you grew up and this and that, it could all be different. From the time I'm a kid and people I've talked to, it's like, we have this idea of this plan of the way life goes. And that's not what life is, the meaning of life.
This was like a conversation the other night.
Good. It's not what the meaning of life is. This is surely not the meaning of life, I would guess.
So almost what they make the meaning of life seem, though.
Society makes us believe that it's like we all think, okay, I'm a kid right now, I go to school, I go to college, I get a job, I meet a guy, I get married, I have kids, I have grandkids, and I die. And, like, that's a great plan, and that's all very special, good things in life. However, it's like then the other side is we all agree, we're all like, oh, I want to see the world. We all have different things, right? Oh, I want to start a business. Oh, I want to be financially free. But then, like, there's this gap where only a select group of people are getting there. Well, why are only a select group of people getting there, right? And we all agree we want these things. It's like society puts us in this never-ending revolving hole, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people, do you know how many people go work a job they don't like from 9 to 5, get that money, pay their bills, they work to pay the bills to live, they don't have the extra money, they're not doing these extra things, they always want to do it, but how can they do it when they don't have time to do it because they have to go to work and take care of their family and stuff like that, and it's just like there's only so many hours in the day,
it's too much.
It's what society puts us in, and some people could be really fine with that, but a lot of people I talk to, it's like, and us, like, we want more from this life, but creating the plan to get there isn't easy. And I think something both you and I have came across with our own endeavors that we can talk about throughout whatever is just, it starts from your own freaking head. It starts from your own, like, you have to be in a place where you can dream that big and where you can go against this quote unquote plan and do it. But how, like, I think that's a conversation we're going to talk about a lot, is just like, how do you get there? Because
I would just, like, I feel like the whole point, while you're watching this and, like, as episodes, aspire to be, that you're gaining something, like, completely from it. Like, almost like a complete perspective change. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It could just be me. But have you ever, such a weird question, but have you ever been in a room and you feel like you can see that room in, like, 2 different perspectives?
100%.
Like, the way that it looked when the first time you ever walked in the room, and then the way it looks after you get used to it for a while.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, 100%.
And I feel like that's what I mean about life is, like, you see the same things almost every single day. You live in the same house, whatever.
Or
but
person. Like, if you become really good friends and you're like, you remember that first impression you had of them and then what you're at now.
Right.
You have these completely 2 different perspectives.
Yeah. I thought you were really annoying when I first met you.
No, you didn't.
I did.
I mean, you met me when I was young.
Yeah, you, like, wouldn't talk to me.
No, you thought I was rude. Let's talk about that.
She was rude.
No, Alyssa didn't understand my sense of humor.
Sorry, she was like a little Khloe Kardashian, if you will.
Like, if
I was honestly annoying too, so it's fine.
I didn't think you were annoying.
Really? I thought you just thought I was a bitch.
I don't know what I thought of you.
Really? No, like.
I think I liked you. And when she said she thought I was annoying,
I think I liked you.
No, you thought I was annoying for about 20 minutes until we talked.
Yeah, until you said something funny. And then I was like, wait, stop. This is such a cover.
And then I remember you telling me, you were like, I realized that, like, you weren't actually
I used to introduce you to my friends as a bitch. You remember? I'm like, hi, this is my friend Jocelynn. She's a bitch.
But then you were like, I realized
not like a bitch, but like a bitch.
Yeah. You were like, I realized she's doing that to be fun. Like, you realized, like, I wasn't actually meaning
it was just, like, funny.
Yeah. But then I think about, like, how many perspectives of people I've came across, and they're just, like, they didn't understand me, and probably are like, wow, Jocelynn is just...
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We can't worry about that in this lifetime, guys.
I'm sure there's people out there that, like, don't like me or whatever. I don't know, but I don't really have... I can't tell you one person that I'm sitting here right now that I'm like, I don't like that person.
I don't not like anybody, but I think
I pretty much like everybody. I just think it's to a point until, like, I can't tolerate you anymore, and then I just...
But it's not that you don't like them. You're just like...
Yeah, you just
they don't have to be in your life.
Yeah, you don't have to, like, surround yourself
Do you really
with them.
sit here and think, like, yeah, that person I just hate? Like, no, I don't feel that way
about
about
anybody. How there's those women that, like, you know, they'll literally, like, go out with you and then...
hate you or talk
No, like, let's say if me and you, like, we were just, like, you know, we had just everything going for us. We don't really work. We have a lot of kids. And, like, we were these people that just, like, were, like, those hating moms that said, like, oh, my God, did you see Kelly is, like, did you see she, like, dyed her hair brown?
And then, like,
now she looks like such a whore. Yeah. Like, it's just, like, those kind of people are not people that I want to. There's no point. There's no point. You literally cannot change yourself. You are who you are from the second that you come out of the womb.
Yeah.
And you can't go back, you know? No. You can't shove yourself back up there and be like, oh, please, God, change my hair and make me have tan skin. And
basically, I think what we're saying is, like, crave more from life, and you realize that what fulfills your pot, you know, is really stuff you're passionate about, and it comes from within. You can't change who you are. You don't need to be somebody else. We don't all need to morph into the same person. The same.
It's a journey. I mean...
life's a journey.
The whole
life
shebang.
Is a freaking journey. Yeah. And we're on our journey of being more present, more awake, and kind of, you know, we started this off with the meaning of life, not because we were going to give it to you, because we don't know it. And I don't know that any of us are ever going to fully freaking know it, but we do hope to bring in multiple perspectives onto this podcast, people who have a little bit more insight. We are really excited to share our insight, our stories, our thoughts, and really open this up to a community. I know I can speak firsthand. I've always been very intuitive, a very intuitive person. Even as a kid, I always felt like I was different than everybody else. I don't know if we all felt that way. I know you have. But if you're very intuitive, you kind of feel like, is everybody else just living their life and not thinking about anything? Like, is everybody else just...
Dude, I probably thought about, like, death since I was,
and then,
like 5.
You know, when you're a kid, you're like, oh, my God, one day I'm going to die. How does that happen? Like, I don't know. You just have all these thoughts. I always question the world. I've always been very intuitive. I've always, you know, had dreams that came true. You know, you get that gut feeling, you follow it, it happens.
You booking an appointment with me that day, I saw your name pop up on my phone, and I literally was like, me and Jocelynn are going to start talking again.
You knew it.
And now I'm sitting here doing a podcast with you.
I've always been intuitive, but until I met you, I didn't know what to do with that. Like, I've had a couple experiences as a kid that I never told anybody about, and I thought they were kind of like, oh, how did that happen, or how did I see that or do that? That doesn't seem normal. But I feel like the thing is I would have loved to understand the world like this and live the way I live now years ago, because it's just the anxiety and depression lowers so much, and I get to really live life.
You really blow off a lot.
Yeah, you blow off a lot. You realize so much, and you're in just such a better place, and that's what really brought me out of dark time. But I feel like until I met you, I mean, the first thing we talked about was spirituality, bringing this back to the beginning, and
because we were both experiencing some side of weird things, which I feel like is definitely story time.
But it was like, yeah, that will come in another podcast. But I feel like when I met you, I was able to, like, once you start that conversation and you have someone to talk to stuff about, like, things just start happening like a revolving door, right? And, like, next thing you know, all these experiences are happening to me, and now we're at where we are today talking about this in front of more people. But the thing is, if you're really intuitive like me as a little girl and you have nobody to talk to about it, and you just have people around you who are very logical or don't really understand or whatever, and you just feel freaking different.
I mean, tons of them probably feel that way.
You just feel you feel like an outcast in a way where you feel like, what do you do with the way you're feeling?
We are the safe space.
Yeah, and it's kind of like, we hope to, like, if I was that 5-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, and I could listen to this, I could start understanding myself more and begin that conversation with this podcast. If I don't have a friend like you, because I didn't meet you we didn't start that conversation till 2 years ago.
Right.
So we're basically, hopefully can start that conversation for people who.
And I don't know. I just don't think that we would have had a podcast even without
the way things happen.
Yeah, no.
Everything is aligned. and we can take peace and clarity into that. So I feel like we should end all of our podcasts off with something that we do every single time. Like, if we took one message, you know, we can say how we're feeling at the end of this podcast, and what's a message we can each pull out of this, and a one-line slogan to keep in our minds, write down in our journals, and, you know, we can all tackle our week with that. Like, what do we come out of our conversation with? And then comment, please leave us a review. We love hearing how you feel. Rate us, all that good stuff. It really helps us out. And then on top of that, always leave comments of any topics you want to cover, any insight. I mean, this is supposed to be an open community. It's not, we don't know the answers. We're with you guys talking about it. So do all of that. But how do you feel, and what is your one punchline to end it off? And then I'll give mine. You really got to think.
Oh, yeah. Like, I think,
Let's put you on the spot. I just decided that right now.
So
Like, we
sorry,
did not
I shouldn't
discuss
have done
that.
I think the only thing at least to take back from today for, like, at least your week coming and whatever is to just start out small. Just start, like, having gratitude for the simple things.
Yep.
The legitimate, like, I mean, the simplest things. Like, get yourself up in the morning. Like, stop rolling over in bed. And you know what? That's another thing. Just really quick. A lot of people, you know, you don't realize that sleeping, like, you sleep in so much, right? You know how many, like, if you would have just got up early a little bit. Not like, I'm not saying you have to get up crazy early, but just, like, get up early a little bit. And have, like, some time for you before you get ready for the day.
Before you just jump
like,
into
go brush your
work.
teeth, like, use the bathroom,
But not
wash
in a
your
rush.
face.
Not
No,
in a rush.
not in a rush. Like, almost, like, enjoy it.
We just go into so many topics, though. Sorry, it's something about us. So what's your punchline? Find gratitude
Sorry,
in
I
the
did that
small
again.
things. Like, just challenge yourself to, like, take some time to sit in nature, have gratitude.
Yeah, just
take some
have
time
gratitude for the simple things.
Yeah.
Like, for the next week, try to find something to be fucking grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my French.
Yeah, we'll use a lot of French.
I've done really good, though.
Yeah, we haven't said that much. I think you hit us with the horror word.
You're gonna I did hit that with the horror word. You're gonna have to bleep me out.
No, I'm not gonna bleep you out.
Yeah, I don't think that. This is,
Mature. My punchline is, what did I gain from this? See, I should
just learn how to cuss in French.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either, but.
I think, you know what, I'm going to start this off this. Have peace in being. Just being. Have peace this week in being. Not just this week, but, like, start that, because
Just being.
we let little things bother us. We get wrapped up into social media or today's day and age or our job or whatever it could be. Just have peace in the fact that you're able to have a human experience.
And that you have
that life
a
can
body
always
to,
get better.
like,
Do
function
things.
out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to punch you in the face right now, I can.
Don't.
Okay. So thank you for listening. Rate us, please.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Please comment. Follow us on our social
Comment,
medias.
follow, all the
All that
fun
stuff.
shit.
Always tell us what you want to hear
The
next.
French.
No topics are off limits.
Oh, yeah, no, we're diving into it all.
And we'll limit our French.
I'll try.
Try.
Unless you like it.
Yeah. Let us know if you like the French.
Whatever you like.
Okay. We can't shut the F up.
That's what I'll do. Shut the F up.
Yeah, just shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. So, leave us a comment. Let us know what you want to see. We'll be here every Monday.
Yeah, let us know what you're thinking.
Yes, we'll be here every Monday morning, 6 a.m. So please put us on during your morning routine on your way to work, and we'll start our weeks off great and open our minds up to more.
Together.
Indulge in yourself this week.
Together forever.
Let's say indulge in yourself this week.
Indulge in yourself this week.
Indulge in yourself this week.
No, seriously, though.
Seriously, do it. A lot of great things coming, but you'll have to stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.